Welcome everybody to Michael White Gaming. Once again doing a Mega Man Let's Play and planning to go through Mega Man 3, which is actually my favorite game in the series. So, before we get into it, kind of a fun story that goes along with this. I rented this game on my 9th or 10th birthday, did not own it at the time, and the opening music was so awesome that I wanted to just let that play while we had my birthday lunch. So, much to my parents' and my sister's annoyance, we were sitting at the dinner table having lunch while the chiptunes from the opening of Mega Man 3 played repeatedly. Also, this is the game I played in celebration when my youngest sister was born, and I found out, because it had some of the coolest music that I had easy access to. So I just booted up Shadow Man's level and started rocking out to that when I was excited about her birth. So this game has got a very special place in my heart. It's got some very special memories associated with it. Let's get into it. We're gonna let this music play a little bit. Tell me that's not one of the coolest chiptunes on the NES. Alright, we are not going to be using rewind, we're not going to be using passwords, we're not going to be using save states, anything like that. This is going to be a clean, normal playthrough. This game also has a number of glitches that require a second controller to activate. We're not going to be doing any of that today, unless I manage to actually slide through the Proto Man section in Gemini Man stage. But that's a little bit hard to do without the second controller super jump unlocked, so yeah, we'll see if it happens or not. We may end up exposing the circuits of some of the fish robots, we may not. But I prefer to begin with Magnet Man. There are a number of places to break into the boss sequence. You can actually begin with Snake Man. Perfectly serviceable choice. The story for this game is only in the manual. So basically, Dr. Light and Dr. Wily have gotten together. Dr. Wily has reformed, supposedly. And they have built a peacekeeping robot called Gamma. Nobody knows why, but Gamma went out of control, and these robot masters are here. So, Mega Man has to defeat them and solve the mystery behind Gamma. Meanwhile, we've got a mysterious robot, known as Breakman. We will later know him as Proto Man, but his real name has not been revealed yet in this game. So he's Breakman because he comes through and breaks holes in the floor after we challenge him in the stages. So that's another sort of mysterious aspect of the storyline laid out in the instruction manual. This is very much prior to games having, you know, intro cutscenes and things like that. That will begin with Mega Man 4. Oh, Lord. Ooh, and that's... yeah. Well, death number 1. This is a difficult game. This is not... you know, like I've been remarking on some of the other Let's Plays that I've done, this is not one of the easier ones. But it's also very fair, I find. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Ah. Alright. Nope, did it again. Alright. Well, for some reason we're hitting down there, so we need to stop doing that. Or else we're gonna get a game over in Magnet Man stage. This is much easier if you have Rush Jet. However, as far as the boss rotation goes, I feel like easier to deal with the platforming. There we go. And that's how that's supposed to be done. So you are fighting against the air turbines, or whatever they are, there. Could go down, get a little bit of health, it's not really that big of a deal. Ah, well, we're very lucky. So given that I have died twice, we are probably on our last life here. There's the magnet. Pulling me in, baby. Oh yeah, we got this. Ba-ba. Yep, we're on our 0 life, so things are already getting exciting. So first time I saw this, super jazzed that we saw like a close-up of Mega Man's teleport. Alright, so Hardman's next. Look to your left, Mega Man. He's hard, but he's not immune to the power of magnets. Best way to deal with these guys is to scroll them off. There is not a single piece of music in this game that isn't basically excellent to really good. Accidentally hit R1. Fortunately, it was not in a place that it affected gameplay. Oh man. The menu setup is a little bit strange in Mega Man 3. Sort of. Are we gonna jump down? I guess we got a magnet. I guess the best way to have weapon energy left for the boss is to do this. So like I remarked earlier, probably the first time I played this is when I was 9 or 10 years old. So this game has very much been a part of my entire life. Right, I believe you want to go up the other way. Yeah, this is the way to go. Yeah, whatever. Proto Man. Sorry, Break Man. And there's the breaking. I think we just got one enemy between us and the boss now. Yeah, it should be enough to get him. Let's hope. Goodbye, hard man. We hardly knew ya. Alright. Looking to our right, we find Top Man. Seizure warning for this level. Due to rapidly flashing lights. Probably could have waited on that. Didn't, but probably could have. I feel like I want to take the top path here, but I don't remember why. Oh. Well. We still need Rush Coil. This is the first game with Rush, by the way, as well, so... He's new, the slide is new. Desperately needed that one up. Ba-ba-bum. Time to deal with some awful hairballs. If you wait long enough, they start to shoot robotic fleas off their back, too. Very, cat accurate. Alright, we're back up to 3 lives again, which is where we want to be. Yep, he was just about to shoot fleas. Caught him before he did. Ba-ba-bum. That's how you do that. Oh well, doesn't matter. 4 hits and he's gone. Also the weapon I tend to use on the Yellow Devil later, who makes a return appearance in this game. Alright, now we get into a truly challenging stage. Breakman. You can pause if you want to hear more of his song. Break it. Lights out, baby. Well, that didn't work out well at all. I don't think we're missing anything. Well, there we go. Into the lava. So I guess that's how you do that. You wanna... Getting hit is always better than dying. Now we have a bit of a quandary. May have to use an E-Tank, actually. Not sure if I want to do that or lose a life. Oh well. How about neither? Ba-da-ba. Haven't really figured out how to use top spin without getting hurt. but again, it's kind of one of those, it does so much damage that it's worth taking the hit. Really more of a problem in boss rush mode. Alright, so now that we have Shadow Blade, we have a couple of choices. Technically, it is Sparkman's weakness. It will also do bonus damage to Gemini Man. We're gonna go ahead and take out Sparkman, just because. Basement 1. A little bit of slowdown there due to the NES's limitations and how much they're doing on screen. Another kind of a seizure warning level here. That is 100% worth it. Because you don't lose anything. Oh, here we go. Infamous. There's a much worse version of that coming up later. Well, not quite how you want to do that. I think we need a magnet missile through there. I think that's going to be wise. You can destroy those, but oh, well, maybe we do want to. And there's no way we can access that, so forget it. I do believe we have a legitimate game over. Alright. Well, as you guys can see, we're not cheating here at Mike White Gaming. So this is the NES era. It's time to just try it again. None of this revive you at a checkpoint nonsense. Those are Hammer Joes, by the way, as opposed to Sniper Joes, which we have seen in multiple Mega Man games. A lot of people would probably look at that as a negative, but the fact that this game can still deliver me a game over years later, I feel like it's just kind of good play design. Like, it is challenging. And in the NES era, you very much did not want to be able to beat your games right away. You wanted to get some longevity out of it. So... Ah, that's what you do. Bum, 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 bum. Aha. See, we're learning. Bum, bum, bum. Sparkman's dead. We got through that. We have seen game over screen, but Mega Man Soldiers On. One reason that I don't necessarily disagree with the series being too challenging, which is some people's take on it that didn't necessarily grow up with it, is that you do get infinite continues. So at no point does the game go, we're just going to dump you here and you got to start from the beginning. That's not a thing in Mega Man. Even the original does not have limited continues. Now the original does not have passwords, which, you know, obviously something that does add some challenge to it. But, you know, by this point we've got a password system, and beyond the password system, you know, infinite continues, so there's really nothing to stop you from trying again. And even if you need to come back on a different day. Oh, nuts, we didn't do it. I was gonna see if maybe I could put Rush Coil down there and jump through. There is a secret here that you can activate if you can jump through that before Proto Man appears. I don't particularly... I guess I'll get it. So I have made this a little bit harder on myself because in the rotation that we're doing, Needleman is going to be last. And he's where you get Rush Jet. Oh, I totally forgot about the question boxes in this game. Ooh, oh man, excuse me. Well, that wasn't worth digging out. Oh well. Question box can be literally any item, so it could be weapon energy, could be, you know, 1-up, could be an E-tank, kind of just gambling. Oh, okay, well, screw that, I guess. There we go. You do actually require... Well, do you need rush? I guess you can technically do this without rush. Rush coil. Although the game does give you rush coil right from the start, so it's not like it's possible to reach this point and not have it. I think there is a way to break those where you don't need it, but it's what you want as far as proceeding. That's a shame we didn't activate the glitch here, because it's not something that impacts gameplay. It's just more of a neat, like, visual thing that will expose some of the inner circuitry of several of the mini-bosses that are coming up. I don't even know if you can call them mini-bosses, just kind of regular enemies with more health than normal. Probably don't need that anymore, but... Look at the stuff that they're doing with the foreground here. Yeah, so you can look at the inner circuitry of the duck robots if you are able to slide through that Proto-Man section without him having time to break the platform. Just kind of a neat little glitch. Now, I'm trying to remember if Rush Marine does me any good here. I believe it does. Oh yeah. Oh yeah! Oh yeah, and there we go. Nope, not yet. Alright. So obviously Rush Marine, very helpful there. We may need to get killed here. So Shadow Blade works on Gemini Man, it is not the preferred weapon. He is actually weak to Search Snake, but it does do a little bit of extra. Rather be building up lives than he takes at this point. The Doc Robot stages are coming up after the first 8 Robot Masters, and those are pretty rough. Much more challenging remixes of some of these levels. Alright, so now that we've killed Gemini Man, let's see, do we have what we need? Needle Man kills Snake Man. Oh, Spark Shock kills Needle Man. That's right. Or is it Gemini? No, it's Gemini Laser. It's Gemini Laser. Spark Shock kills Magnet Man. Possible foreshadowing of the giant me tool in Mega Man 4? I don't know. Looks almost like it's part of the same sprite. And I say worth it. Time for some Hammer Joes. Not gonna be able to get that. Be quicker on the draw there. Also gets attracted to their bullets. I believe Gemini Laser also takes those guys out in like one shot. Not that they're necessarily difficult. It's kind of the version of the giant round jumping robots that you get in this game. Gemini Laser. There we go. Alright. Now onwards to Snake Man. Snake Man is actually perfectly beatable with the plasma cannon or the regular, you know, P. However, he's a lot easier with Needleman's weapon. He does a lot of damage to Mega Man when you collide with him, whereas his projectiles don't do that much, but he's very mobile. This is just a brilliant stage design, in my opinion. Can we appreciate that when it scrolls from one screen to another, it's incredibly fast? Not the case in Mega Man 4. Alright, we're starting to do better on lives, so that's good. It's an alternate way to beat those if you don't have Magnet Missile. A little bit more dangerous. We're definitely going for the question mark canister up above. Well, part of that I needed. What's over there? Oh, that's right, they up the ante with this guy and he shoots 3 to 4 fireballs. instead of just the two. Sigh. I guess I should. Now, if you do not jump as those come up, there is a glitch where it is possible for you to die and fall through the platform. Needles! That's what snakes are weak to. And there's that damage that Snake Man do. But it doesn't matter because he's really dead. Search Snake. We've now got all 8 weapons, Rush Jet and Rush Marine. What's gonna happen now? Stay tuned.